What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk more about Star Wars doubling down on all of their nonsense. It is unbelievable. They can't help themselves. I just saw a quote from Donald Glover where he's doubling down on this Lando nonsense, and it blows me away. So, trying to get my comments pulled up here right now. Already got a bunch of you watching. You're commenting. You're amazing. You're the best. If I didn't have this terrible laptop in front of me, I wouldn't have to be reading from my phone. But give me just a minute and I'm going to read you some quotes from Donald Glover. Also, the Rotten Tomatoes score, the want to see it continues to nosedive. They are doing their best impression of the Titanic, and it's beautiful. And let's see here. Alright, now we got the chat up over here. What's up, everybody? You guys are the best. Thank you so much for joining. So, let me go ahead. Yes, I have seen Alex Becker's most recent video, and I think it's fantastic. I actually commented on it. What's up, 42%? Alright, so have you guys heard about Donald Glover's latest comments about the Lando controversy? Check this out. I took some screenshots, and this is where we are with Star Wars right now. This is the point that Disney has taken us to. Here's a quote from Donald Glover. "How can you not be pansexual in space?" Glover shared with SiriusXM's Entertainment Weekly Radio. "There are so many things to have sex with. I didn't think that was that weird. Yeah, he's coming on to everyone. I mean, yeah, whatever. It doesn't seem that weird to me, because I feel like if you're in space, it's kind of like the door is open." How did Star Wars get to the point where a person starring in the film, his exact quote is, "There are so many things to have sex with in Star Wars"? This is the point that we've reached right now. How absolutely ridiculous is this? Unreal. And look, they clearly are not self-aware enough to understand that they are upsetting so many people. It's ridiculous. So let's see. Going pretty good, Sebastian. Thank you for asking. So many comments, I can't even keep up. The Lando memes have been the best thing ever. If anything good has come out of this, it's the Lando memes. But it's a sad thing, because memes typically destroy things that we love. So even though the memes are hilarious, it's sad that we've gotten to the point where sex is a central focus of the Star Wars universe now. This is Disney, the family-friendly company, and they have allowed sex to become a central focus of the discussion surrounding Star Wars. How did we get to this point, everyone? How did we get this far? I'm beside myself. So for those of you that are just joining, Donald Glover actually commented on this entire controversy, and I'm going to reread it again, and it says, "How can you not be pansexual in space?" Glover shared with SiriusXM's Entertainment Weekly Radio. "There are so many things to have sex with. I didn't think it was that weird." This is where we're at. We're not talking about the Force. We're not talking about the dark side versus the light side. We're not talking about the Jedi versus the Empire. We're not talking about anything other than this. Sex with different species is the level we are at now, and it just blows my mind. So do I think Disney cares yet? No, Brad, I do not think Disney cares yet. I think that they will care if they feel it in the pocketbook, in the wallet, and we're going to find out. We're going to find out how big this resistance is. How strong is this rebellion? Also, really quick, I am scheduled to be on the High Council tomorrow with Ethan Van Sciver and World Class Bullshitters. Many of you have asked me about this. So, yes, I am scheduled to be on the High Council tomorrow. So, look for me over there. I'm really excited for that. Let me get back to this live chat. I saw a super chat, and that was Thundercats Kitten. Yes, sticking your junk in robots and aliens is weird, but that's not what Disney seems to think right now. Disney is all about this nonsense. So, yes, Ben Freeman, I will be on the High Council. Just subs to World Class Bullshitters. Good. They are a great channel. They just put out an amazing video on John Campea. And just for full disclosure, I know I've told all of you I'm a fan of Campea, and I've always kind of defended this dude. But after what he pulled on Twitter with me the other day, where I called him out for basically being a fake victim, and then he responded by calling me a liar, I am done with John Campea. I'm done defending him. I've tried. I've been a fan of this guy for a long time. And I'm done. If he wants to play that game, then I'm just done with him altogether. So I'm out. I'm out on John Campea. And World Class Bullshitters did a great job on busting him down the other day. So good job to those guys. Can't wait to join the High Council tomorrow with Jeff and Ethan. So, all right. Let's see. David Lyons, what's up? Davis Lyons, what's up? You have been a sub since early on, like the first 2,000, if I'm not mistaken, buddy. So I remember. I try to remember these things. So I'm not going to remember everyone, but I do remember. Also, everybody makes a big deal of my cups. So look at the cup I have tonight. How many of you are digging that cup right there? Yeah, I know you got to respect that. Yes, Davis, you were here in the beginning, buddy. Harry the Great Jedi, what is up? Nice cup. Noah's Ark Gaming 360, I love you too. He says, Jeremy, I love you too. Daniel Rodriguez, thank you for the super chat. Keep fighting the good fight, brother. Thank you so much. It's support like all of you guys that motivate me to do this. So, you know, I return the thanks back to you guys. I really do. So it means so much to me. Turtle Power, the cup is pansexual. Ooh, Michelangelo is the best turtle. Change your mind. Well, I like Leonardo because I like the alpha male of the group. I mean, Mikey is obviously the fun guy, but Leonardo, he's the leader. He's the alpha. He's the guy that sets the tone. So I'm a Leonardo guy, but Mikey is amazing. Raph's amazing. Donatello is amazing. They're all great, but I'm a Leonardo guy. So. Oh, so we have a Ninja Turtle debate in the comments. This is why I love our comments, because you never know. It's so unpredictable. Bryant Greer, thank you for the super chat. You know what I hate? People believing that robots have genitals. I guess Lando would be making love with aliens and robots since he's a pansexual. Exactly. Immortal One Cohen, 1900 called this. I don't even know what that means. So let's see. All right, so who's winning the Ninja Turtle debate right now? So who's your favorite Ninja Turtle since someone came in the chat and blew it up with some Ninja Turtle debate? So we got Donatello. Let's see. Raphael. All right, we got his Raph, Donatello, Donnie. I'm seeing a lot of Donnies. So there's a Splinter. Shout out to Splinter. I see a lot of Raphs. I'm not seeing a lot of Leos. Am I one of the few Leonardo fans? Michelangelo, Raph. Yeah, I think Leonardo is going to be dead last in the chat, but I'm a Leo guy. So Leonardo is my guy. He's the leader. He's the alpha. Megan Fox. You guys are great. Pizza, of course. So in case you're wondering why Ninja Turtles is, hang on. This is why we're talking about Ninja Turtles, because that's my cup of choice tonight. My cup is going to become like this thing where it's going to become a debate on what my cup is going to be. I have a lot of these cups. Aiden Brennan, what's up, Aiden? Gordon Freeman, that was Bo Burt that said Gordon Freeman. And Gordon Freeman, if you don't know, is the lead character in one of the single greatest games ever, and that's Half-Life and Half-Life 2. Personally, Half-Life 2 is my favorite game outside of Mario Kart games ever. I love Half-Life 2. And no, I don't think we're going to get a Half-Life 3 before you guys ask. Robert Lombardo, class is pain 101. Your instructor's Casey Jones. Casey Jones! We really need to get a Half-Life 3 is not coming out, I don't think. We really need to get an updated Ninja Turtles movie. Also, a few Yeah, and here we go right here. Thundercats Roar. Okay, so one of the live chats last week, someone asked me if I've seen the new Thundercats. I thought we were talking about like the 2012 Thundercats. That's what I knew of. I have since learned about Thundercats Roar. Holy hell. What is this garbage that they are trying to put out? It is absolutely terrible. Thundercats Roar is one of the worst things I have ever seen. And this is something that, and I'm going to try to do a video on this, where people, they don't understand that, like, okay, for instance, you have Cobra Kai, okay? Nobody was really asking for a Karate Kid continuation, but we got one. So when I heard about Cobra Kai, I was like, really? They're going to roll those guys out in wheelchairs? How is this going to work out? Well, guess what? It worked out phenomenally. And what did I do? As a parent, I told my kid, hey, I want you to watch this because you need to see the Karate Kid, then you need to see the continuation. And now my kid is a fan of the source material and the sequel. And that is how you do it. But no, I'm not going to go to my kid and say, hey, look at this Thundercats Roar. You really need to watch the 80s cartoon now. Nobody's going to do that because it's trash. It's unbelievable. Let's see. Somebody said last chat, they said take a shot every time Jeremy says let's see. You'd be drunk in about 5 minutes. George Ryan, let's not let them ruin Ahsoka in an SJW movie. I agree 100%. As a huge Ahsoka fan, my favorite Star Wars character, I don't want them anywhere near Ahsoka at this particular time. But like I've said many times in reference to Ahsoka, Dave Filoni will not let anybody deal with Ahsoka unless he has involvement. So even if Kathleen Kennedy wants Ahsoka, I don't know if there's a contract or whatever since Dave created her, but or maybe it's just just like a good old boy, decision they've made, but he won't let anybody touch Ahsoka without his involvement. So that's the one good thing right now that we have, is we do have a protector of Ahsoka right now. So if they ever do touch Ahsoka and try to put her into anything, Filoni is going to be involved. So we can trust that it is going to be really good. Johnny5 says, what is Cobra Kai about? Cobra Kai is the continuation of the Karate Kid story 30 years later, and it still has the same two main characters from the Karate Kid movie. You don't really need to see the Karate Kid to understand it or appreciate it, but it will not hurt to watch the Karate Kid prior. They do such a great job of telling the story and giving you glimpses to the backstory that you don't necessarily need to see the Karate Kid. So if you saw it a long time ago and don't remember it, you really don't need to rewatch it. But if you've never seen the Karate Kid, I would say probably do need to watch it prior to seeing Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is fantastic. One of my favorite things I've seen in a long, long time. I absolutely love it. Thunder Kitten, thank you for the super chat. Do you like the live action turtle films from the 90s? I love the first one. Now, I haven't seen it in a long, long time. I do love the second one, and yes, I love Go Ninja Go Ninja Go from Vanilla Ice. The rest of them, I don't really acknowledge the rest of them, but I do like the first two, especially the first one. But that might be a lot of nostalgia involved, because I remember that movie was such a big deal for me as a kid with the practical effects. It was a huge deal, and so I thoroughly enjoy the first one and the second one. So let's see. There's a let's see. You got to take a shot. So Soylo, a Ghostbusters 2016 and 2018 story. Oh man. Bryant Greer, do you love the Powerpuff Girls from 1998? I never watched Powerpuff Girls, so I cannot speak on that. All the respect in the world for the Powerpuff Girls, but yeah, I could not. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, I saw Bradley Fortner. I saw Alex Becker was kind of critical of Cobra Kai, and I couldn't believe it. I love Alex Becker, but man, come on. It was great. It was Cobra Kai is objectively fantastic in every way. I have no criticisms about Cobra Kai. None at all. So, let's see. There's another let's see. Do I like Married with Children? I love Married with Children. There's no way Married with Children would exist in 2018 because the SJWs would shut it down. They would freak out at Al Bundy. Love Married with Children. Al Bundy is one of the great characters of all time. Steve 1989-147, thank you for the super chat, sir. Appreciate that. Johnny Johnny Rawl, I think that's how you say it, Raw. Love your content. Just watched the first Turtles with the kids, and it definitely holds up. That's good to know. I really think I'm going to revisit the Turtles movie, the original one, because I don't know if my daughter has seen it, and I would like for her to watch that. So Sebastian Schildhorn, check out the Netflix Voltron show. It's great. Thank you for the super chat. You know, I was a Voltron fan growing up, so I have heard good things about that Voltron series. So based on your recommendation, I probably will check it out. Right now, I'm catching up on Better Call Saul right now. I am in season 3. I'm about midway through season 3. No spoilers, please, in the comments below. Obviously, I've watched Breaking Bad, but there are things that I don't know that are going to happen yet with the remainder of season 3. Better Call Saul is fantastic. It actually makes Breaking Bad even better, and I didn't know that was possible because Breaking Bad is easily one of the greatest shows ever made, but Better Call Saul just complements it so good. I can't believe how good it is. I really can't. Oh man, let's see. Have I seen Westworld yet? I've seen the first season of Westworld and I loved it. I watched the season 2 premiere. I reviewed it here on the channel, kinda. I didn't really understand it. I was completely lost on that episode. And I don't really like week-to-week television. This is why I'm catching up on Better Call Saul, because I don't like waiting week to week. I like to wait, let it build up, and then binge through it. That's just something that Netflix has basically ruined me and a lot of people on. So, I'm just waiting to just let everything build up, and then I'm gonna binge through the season 2. But yeah, I think Westworld's great. So Westworld season 2 episode 4 is a game changer. Good to know. Good to know. Star Wars Better Call Maul, dude. I would be there opening night. I would be there opening night. Watched Lost in Space yet? Yes, I did. I enjoyed Lost in Space. It clearly had some SJW moments and undertones in it, but overall, I was very happy with the entire cast, and I thought they all complimented everyone, for the most part, very much so. So I enjoyed Lost in Space. Yeah, the Star Wars Better Call Maul sounds fantastic. I can't remember who did that, but that's another shout out to you. That was great. Okay, Jeremy, I'm not biased by any means, just want your opinion. Why do you think when talking about Star Wars, people blame Disney and not Lucasfilm? When Disney talking about Marvel, people credit Marvel and Disney and not Disney? Oh, that's a great question. That's a great question. I think it just comes down to perception. I mean, a lot of times I know how the process works, but bottom line is when something is a mess, you expect the powers that be to step in and come correct it. So when you have Marvel operating on all cylinders, you look at that and go, okay, Disney gave them the tools to succeed, then they took those tools that Disney gave them and they have succeeded massively. Then when you have a situation like Star Wars, Disney, well, I mean, George Lucas and then Disney obviously gave them the tools to succeed, and they are clearly not succeeding, at least obviously financially they are, but if you look at the trends, it's trending down so bad. So you would expect Disney to step in, the leadership of Disney to go, okay, leadership here isn't working, why are all these problems happening? So I think that has a lot to do with it. Hopefully that's a good answer. Let's see, as pooped by Anakin Skywalker because Disney is funding Lucasfilm. Shina, thank you for the super chat. Love your content. I also love Leia. Leia is sleeping in the living room, but I will definitely tell her you asked about her. Ricky Contreras, thank you for the super chat. Did you ever watch the Battlestar Galactica reboot? I'll be honest with you guys, I've never seen a Battlestar Galactica. I know nothing about it. And there's no reason why. It's not like I've been avoiding it. It's just never really happened for me. But I would totally do it. Mikey Moffat, I see you, Mikey. I see you. I see all the comments, but it's just so hard to catch one of them. But what I love is the fact that the comment section moves so fast. I love trying to have to catch comments. So, let's... Tyrant, financially succeeding, they are $4.05 billion in the hole. I don't know where you get that. I mean, If you look at The Force Awakens, if you look at Rogue One, if you look at the toy sales for The Force Awakens and even Rogue One, if you look at Rebels, if you look at Battlefront sales, regardless of the quality, it's been financially successful. And even The Last Jedi was financially successful, just not as successful as it should have been, but the trend is going down. So it has been financially successful, but it's going down quickly. Watch Farscape instead, says As Poop by Anakin Skywalker. I've got so many things to watch on Netflix right now. Thoughts on the plot for episode 9? If all of the rumors are true, I have no desire to see episode 9 based on all of those leaks and all of that Raylo garbage. I'm not going to get into too many of the spoilers because some people just don't want to know anything. And these are legit spoilers if they're true. I have no desire to see episode 9 based on the rumored leaks that we have gotten. So, Jeremy, what would you think of a transgender mutant Ninja Turtles? I think it would fail worse than Ghostbusters 2016. That's what I think. Jeremy, if you were president of Lucasfilm, what would you do to the franchise? I've answered this question several times, and it's a very simple answer. If I was president of Lucasfilm, I would immediately call Dave Filoni, have a meeting with him, have a press conference, and say, I, Jeremy Griggs, am announcing my retirement as the president of Lucasfilm, and I'm handing it to Dave Filoni, and I'm just going to sit in the office and watch this man make brilliant Star Wars movies. That's what I would do. I would hand it to Filoni and give him full creative control. Terry, thank you for the super chat. What are your thoughts on the Obi-Wan movie? I'll be honest, with all the other crazy Star Wars news going around, I have not paid a lot of attention to the Obi-Wan movie. I've heard all of the rumors and the speculation. I don't think it's been confirmed yet, but I've heard a lot of reports that when it's going to be shooting. I haven't heard any layout as to when it's going to take place. I don't even think we've gotten confirmation that McGregor is going to be back. So until I'm so disconnected from the future of Star Wars because I'm so focused on what happens right now, because my future involvement and interest for Star Wars lies very heavily on what will happen with Solo moving forward. And so looking further into that, I'm not really concerned with anything. The only thing I might be halfway excited about is the Star Wars video game being made by Respawn, because I'm a huge Titanfall fan and Respawn made Titanfall. So I'm looking forward to that. Tyrant, fair enough, but we can all agree it should be much higher after marketing and all of these things. Absolutely. 100% it should. Lucasfilm Star Wars movies should be making more money. The Last Jedi should have flirted with $2 billion worldwide. 100%. Solo is not going to make $1 billion. It may do well, and it probably will do fairly well because, like I said, the general audience doesn't pay attention to all this stuff that you and I talk about. They're not plugged into all of the ins and outs and the political stuff. But I will say the only thing that can really hurt the general audience is all of this pansexual stuff. Again, for those of you joining us, we have 700 people watching. Let me read this quote that was just released. This is from Donald Glover, the guy playing Lando Calrissian. And he just did an interview that was released, and this is his exact quote right here. This is what will turn a general audience off right here. How can you not be pansexual in space? Glover shared with Sirius XM Weekly Radio, there are so many things to have sex with. I didn't think it was that weird. That's what he said. That's where we're at with Star Wars. That will turn the general audience off. If there is a soccer mom or, a dad that works 9 to 5 and he's just like, hey, there's a new Star Wars movie coming out, but he's watching his local news or he's reading the local, paper or whatever, or just scrolling online, if he sees those headlines, that's going to turn the general audience off right there. They are the ones that have the power to make or break this movie. So it's going to be interesting. And I'm not saying it will fail. I'm just saying this is very important. It's very important. Again, for those of you that are just joining us, I will be on the High Council tomorrow with world-class bullshitters and with Ethan Van Sciver. Many of you have been asking about this. I talked to Ethan earlier. I will be on the High Council. So look for us tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I see Corey Lowe. I see my boy Corey Lowe is in here. Rar gave a super chat. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. All right, let me try to catch some of these comments. Less than 100 million Labor Day included. It will bomb. Rebel scum. I am not willing to say it's going to do less than 100 million. I'm hoping. I'm still looking at it, and I'm still waiting. I'm going to make my prediction, but I think it's probably going to do over 100 million because it's a 4-day weekend. If this was a 3-day weekend, I might be considering like Justice League numbers. But considering it's a 4-day holiday weekend, that's not the same as Rogue One. That's not the same as Justice League. That's not the same as The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens. This is a 4-day holiday weekend. That is strategic on Disney's part. They wanted this 4-day weekend because the way that the media, the mainstream, is going to present it is they're not gonna give the context to it. Go, this is a 4-day and we're comparing it to 3-day. They're just gonna say it made X amount of money on opening weekend, and that extra day is going to help with the narrative. I liked Don Glover. I don't think it's going to do 200 million. I really don't. I mean, again, it could, because I said this on my video earlier. We always accuse Hollywood people of being in their own little bubble, and the same applies to us. We always are in our geek community bubble. We're always in our YouTube bubble and everybody that we talk to, but we have to understand the general audience. But like I said, the pansexual stuff is really going to turn a lot of these people off. You guys are digging my Ninja Turtles cup, and I'm happy about that. Last time it was a Merry Christmas every time I would take a drink. So, Anna, that Star Wars girl, says it's going to crash so epically. I hope so. I hope so, but I'm just not willing to predict that yet. Where's the Christmas cup? It's being washed. Every Netflix movie is pansexual. All right, trust you, Kevin McCall. What am I, or am I trusting you on the box office? I hope you're right, Kevin. I hope you're right. Hey, Darth Vader. Darth Vader has the same Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cup as me. When Darth Vader has the same cup as you, you know you're in good company. Lando boned to Chewie. Oh my gosh, this is where we're at, Disney. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for putting us in this position. Have I seen Samurai Batman? I have not seen Samurai Batman. Is that a YouTube video or what? 115 million from Ethan Campbell 7. What's up, Lauren? I see you in the chat. Tatooine sexual. Oh my god. You guys are a trip. Alright, I'm looking for some questions. Throw me some questions. The chat's moving so fast. Can't even keep up. Love the cup. People are loving the cup. The entire chat is just people talking about Wookiee sex and pansexuals. Who's my favorite superhero? Superman. The Christopher Reeve Superman. Do I like Independence Day? I love Independence Day. I think Independence Day is one of the great summer blockbusters of my lifetime. I watched it multiple times in theaters. Loved it. Where is my Geeks and Gamers hat? It's somewhere. Probably on my hat rack in the other room. Yeah, dude, I loved Independence Day. Such a great movie. I have not seen the follow-up. I heard it was so bad. So, Thor Gorm Blood Maul. The fan films for Star Wars have been 100 times better. Thank you for the super chat. Well, I haven't seen a lot of them. I will say, I have in my possession, I have Ivan Ortega's final cut. And now it's not completely done, but it's the rough final cut. Going to be watching that very soon. And I can't wait to share more thoughts on it. So, Joel Owensby. Glad to hear you will be on the High Council. That Star Wars Infinity War post is coming true. Also, do you think Solo will top the box office? I do think Solo will top the box office. But it won't be with my help. I will be either... I'll probably go to see Deadpool next weekend. I mean, I liked Deadpool 2 okay. I didn't think it was as good as the first one. But just in spite of Solo, I'm going to go see and pay for Deadpool 2 again just to support it. Just to say at least I pushed my money into that film, which I think is, you know, much more deserving of it than, you know, Solo. I keep wanting to say Solo. I think I'm saying this right. Shina Has anyone noticed that in the new Star Wars movies there's not a whole lot of aliens? 100%. A lot of people have noticed that. I've heard a lot of comments about that. And it's obvious what they're wanting to do. They're playing the identity politics game. They want to put... I mean, Kathleen Kennedy said it. She said it point blank that they want Star Wars to reflect the world. J.J. Abrams said this. They want Star Wars to reflect the world. It's like, it's a galaxy far, far away, you idiots. We don't want it to reflect the world. We want it to feel like it's somewhere that's not here, so we can use this as an escape. So they're more concerned with making the world of Star Wars more diverse to look like our world than to make it look like the Star Wars universe. And that is very frustrating. But Kathleen Kennedy has point blank said it. I don't know how many times this woman can admit her agenda before people are going to stop denying it. So again, I've said this before, if you like Disney's agenda, if you want them to continue with that agenda, that's your right. I have no problem with you having an opinion. Don't tell me they don't have an agenda. That's the problem. It's clear they have an agenda. It's very clear. What is the High Council that you mentioned? It is a High Council of very, very vocal and outspoken anti-Star Wars fans right now. So that will be consisting of me and Ethan Van Sciver and world-class bullshitters, Jeff over there. And we're going to get on there and we're going to just let Star Wars have it. And we're going to talk about how frustrated we are. We're going to not pull, we're not going to hold any punches back. We're just going to let it rip, and it's going to take place on the World Class Bullshitters channel. So make sure you subscribe to them and watch their latest video about John Campea, because they systematically destroyed John Campea. It's beautiful. Yeah, the anti-collider. That's the best way you can sum it up. The anti-collider. Anybody else disappointed with Snoke's design? Yeah, I mean, I'm more concerned with the execution of Snoke than anything. His design is take it or leave it for me. I mean, you know, that really wasn't a big problem for me. It was the execution. It was the fact that they built him up so much to be something, and they never followed through with it, and he was basically a plot device. That's all he was a plot device. So, Mikey T says John Camp is getting a lot of hate. Good. Snoke is Ed Harris. Ed Harris is one of my favorite actors. You guys remember The Rock? Not The Rock, the wrestler that's turned greatest movie star in the world, but the Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery and Ed Harris. I thought Ed Harris was so damn good in that movie. Ed Harris was so damn good. Makes you wonder what other favors Pando did to Darth Vader. Save Cloud City. All right, let me repeat that. Really good chef. Makes you wonder what other favors Pando did to Darth Vader to save Cloud City. Fantastic super chat. Star Wars is dead. Unfortunately, you are not far off, my friend. It's unbelievable. What do I do outside of Geeks and Gamers? Meaning what? Because my life is pretty much all about Geeks and Gamers. When I'm not doing Geeks and Gamers stuff, I'm either... well, it's summertime here in Florida, so I'll be spending some time at the beach. I do travel, and I like to fish, and I like to golf, even though I'm not good at either. So, CNY Ranger. Hang on, is that the last one I missed? All right, CNY Rangers. Billy D needs to give Kasdan and Glover a smackdown. Sexually, Lando was clearly a smooth pimp playa. I agree. That's exactly what he was. And there's really no way to deny that. Marijuana firefighter, does your wife support you? So let's keep, for the most part, I want to keep personal questions out of it, but I will say absolutely, 100%. If she didn't, I wouldn't be doing this. She does a 1,000%. Klein Dropper, if they turn Boba Fett into a gay, I'm really gonna flip my shit. You know, I can't even with confidence say they wouldn't at this point with all the other nonsense they're doing. Again, said it before, I'm going to say it again. It comes down to they have to stop. It has to stop with Solo. We have to make a stand. We have to be heard. Maybe the general audience isn't listening. Maybe the general audience doesn't care. Maybe the general audience goes out and supports this movie and it makes $200 million. But at some point, that general audience they're not the people that are going to be sleeping over at Star Wars Celebration and waiting in line for movies and lining up for toys and Blu-rays. They're not going to do that. So yeah, they might think it's fun to go out on a Saturday night with their family and go see a Star Wars movie, but they're not the people like us. They're not the people that are going to be invested in every aspect of the universe. So it may be a short-term gain for them, but they are working on long-term losses. That is what's going on right now. So, short-term gain, long-term loss. Stephanie, yeah, Glover just tripled down on Pando. Yeah, I've read a few. I've read that multiple times, but we are almost up to 900 people watching, which is amazing, by the way. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you want me to, do I need to read off Glover's comments again since we have so many new people watching, or have you all heard it? Let's... All right, I'm seeing a few yeses. Didn't hear it. All right, here we go. Let me read it real quick for you guys. Okay, so this is a quote from Donald Glover. How can you not be pansexual in space? Glover shared with SiriusXM's Entertainment Weekly Radio. There are so many things to have sex with. I didn't think that was that weird. Yeah, he's coming on to everybody. I mean, yeah, whatever. I just didn't seem that weird to me because I feel like if you're in space, it's kind of like the door is open. So again, we're not talking about the Force. We're not talking about the light side versus the dark side. We're not talking about the Jedi versus the Sith. We're talking about having sex with different creatures in space. This is the narrative that has been created by all of this social justice warrior nonsense in Star Wars right now. This is so unacceptable to me. So unacceptable. I saw a super chat. That's from Bonborn. Thank you so much. I see Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer had 50 million views and the Solo had 13 million views. Is this some indicator? Is this some indicator on how it will do? Yes and no. It definitely plays some part into it. There's no doubt about that. How much of a part, I don't know. Because now we've gotten to the point where you have so many different places. If you look on Facebook, you look on Twitter, you have Instagram, you have so many different avenues. But if you take it just on YouTube alone, it's clear there's a massive discrepancy right now in the views. What I would like to know, what let's see, what somebody look and see what maybe the most the first Deadpool 2 trailer had. Maybe look at that. Only on YouTube and see how many views it had from the main channel, because there's going to be multiple ones there. But the Solo trailer views are so low. And if you so I didn't mean to make that. The Solo trailers are so low. See, white boys can rap. I'm telling you. But that was so bad. I'm so white right now. Good Game Live. Hey, comrade. Russian community mostly gave up on Star Wars. We will be back when it's great again. It's not considered colluding, right? Cheers. That's from Good Game Live. I'm trying to see if anybody says white boys can't jump. I can play basketball, so this white boy can jump. I'm trying to approve that comment, by the way, because YouTube flagged it. Eminem already proved that. He did prove it, but he damn sure fell off the map very hard in this past 2 years. Very bad. Deadpool 2, 37.5 million views. That's from JR. Thank you, JR. And Solo's at what, 13 million? I am not rapping because my intent is to keep viewers, not run them off. And that's from Rose Taco 69. Oh my god, that's the greatest screen name ever. Isaac Clarke, best pansexual character ever. Deadpool. Exactly. You know why? Because Deadpool has never been advertised as a pansexual. He's never been celebrated as a pansexual. He just is a pansexual from the comments, from the comics. And it's never been a thing. Don't celebrate it. Why does somebody need to get special treatment for their sexuality? That's the problem. It's not a problem of diversity. It's not a problem of representation. It's a problem of why do you expect special treatment? Why does it happen like that? I've said this many times. When you highlight a person based on their gender or their race or their sexual preferences, you are mistreating them. You are being disrespectful to them. Many times, I've told you all, at Geeks and Gamers, we have pro-LGBTQ people on our team. They're in leadership positions. We have people from all backgrounds, all religions, everything. I'm not going to take somebody that's a lesbian on my team and bring them and go, hey, look at this lesbian, unless I have their permission, first of all, but only when I'm having to defend myself. I've had someone on my team that's a lesbian. Her name is Siobhan. She's been on my team for 4 years now. 4 years. When she was brought on, I never introduced her to go, look at our lesbian, look at our no, I brought her in and I said, here's Siobhan, she's amazing at what she's done, she's earned the job, and she's great. At no point did I highlight her sexual orientation. It doesn't matter. So when you prop these people out prior to a movie and you just want them to highlight their sexuality and their race, you're just using them as almost like circus animals, and it's disrespectful. It's what it is. All right, there is so many comments I have to get to. All right, Ricky Contaris. If you're really against SJW, then you wouldn't be supporting Marvel. It will ruin everything eventually unless you speak out now. Well, I mean, if you're talking about the comics, they have made strides in the comic side because it failed when they brought out Ironheart and all that other stuff. Now, again, I'm not as plugged into the comics as someone else, so I'm not pretending to be. But they definitely did. They definitely have learned from their mistakes. Now, I don't really read comics anymore. I did when I was a kid. Now, as far as the MCU goes, obviously the Captain Marvel stuff is going to play very heavily into what's going on. But again, Marvel has been successful because for the most part, they've stayed away from the SJW nonsense in the movies. If they start bringing it into the movies, it's going to suffer. So the market will determine the market when that happens. So again, my problem, and I'm not going to spend too much time clarifying. I mean, I just don't feel like having to clarify stuff that's common sense, but I don't have a problem with diversity. I don't have a problem with representation. I have a problem with forced diversity, pandering, and virtue signaling. Those are my problems. So when you look at things like Deadpool was a diverse movie. My two favorite characters were Domino and Cable. I loved Domino. I thought Domino was fantastic in that movie. I didn't see a black girl. I saw a great character because she was well written and I enjoyed it. Let me back up here. That Norwegian guy, thank you so much for the super chat. Even the liberal Guardian criticized Lando being pansexual since they believed it was done for tokenism, and they are right. 100% right. 100% right. It's all about... yeah, I know Marvel Comics is infested with SJW stuff. From what I've heard, they're learning from their mistakes and dialing it back. But I might be wrong. Again, I try not to get onto too many topics that I'm not, really involved, like knowledgeable on. So, but I'm okay looking into stuff. So if you guys want me to look into that further, I can definitely look into that further. Chris Oliver, Jeremy, thanks for having our backs. 2 free tickets, but I'm giving them up on principle. I won't do any more Star Wars until Kennedy is shown the door. Chris Oliver, that is an amazing stance, and I appreciate you letting me know about that. And thank you for the super chat. Look, I could get into Solo for no charge. It's really not even the point. My big problem here, it's principle. It's the principle of the matter. And I just won't do it. Brian Dean, thank you for the super chat. All right, let me read some of these. Comments. Brian Dean, big fan, thanks. No, thank you. I appreciate that. Why is it bad to be attracted to frying pans? Not original. If we're not original, you can be attracted to whatever you want. And I will fully support you, but I will not give you special treatment. So, Jessica Butler says they should not rewrite established characters. I agree with you 100%. This is another big problem with the Lando situation. They're trying to rewrite history to fit their narrative, their 2018 narrative. And that's very scary. It's a very scary precedent that they are setting for themselves. In fall 1403, have you seen the 5 stages of watching a Star Wars movie by How It Should Have Ended? No, I have not seen that. Is that new or has that been out for a while? I will definitely make a note to watch that, though. I will definitely check that out. Hang on, there was another Marvel Comics. Social Justice Warrior Marvel Comics have destroyed Iceman. I'm going to look more into the Marvel Comics situation because, like I said, I'm not as plugged into comics as I used to be, but I've heard so many criticisms about it. So I tell you guys, I will do some research on that. If Star Wars news could stop dropping every minute of the day. So it's absolutely crazy. Look up diversity in comics videos on that. Yeah, I was talking to Ethan about the diversity in comics. I was telling him all of you guys wanted me to cover this whole situation with diversity in comics and Mark Waid, and I kept trying, and every time something crazy would happen in Star Wars. People are like, all you do is talk about Star Wars. I'm like, the news is fascinating. It's fascinating. Every day something new, some stupid new story for Star Wars comes out. It's fascinating. It never stops. Like right now, right before I started to record, Donald Glover's comments, this tripling down of sorts that he wanted to do came out. And I'm like, my gosh, you guys never stop. You never stop. So, hey, have we dropped to 40? Is it 41% now? Has anybody checked that lately? George Lucas is probably crying right now. I've got some interesting theories on George Lucas. Is it 41 now? Are you kidding me? Are you serious right now? John Gonzalez, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Roast taco 69. I need some soy soy sauce on my roast beef taco, Jeremy. What the fuck? Oh man. All right, so here's what I want to know. I'm getting a couple of reports, so it's either 41 or 42. It looks like it's 41. It may not have updated on some of you, but enough of you are saying it's 41, so I believe it's 41. By the time we get to, I want some predictions right now. By the time we get to Thursday night at 8 p.m., what is a realistic score that it's going to be at? Thursday night, 8 p.m., which is going to be the 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll just go Central on my time. Where do we think it's going to be? 35 is about where I was thinking too. So I'm seeing 38, 36, 26, 30, 35, 38, 37. Yeah, a lot of people are in that mid-30 range, and I think that's accurate. I think that's very accurate. We are almost at 1,000 viewers. You guys are unbelievable. I can't believe we're almost at 1,000 viewers. Just incredible. Yep. So mid-30s is kind of the general consensus is what I'm seeing right now. Friday morning, 15%. Will this score be lower than the Last Jedi fan score by, let's say, 2 weeks after release? Will it be lower than the Last Jedi? I think it will be lower than the Last Jedi. And for our new viewers, I just want to show off my Ninja Turtles cup. This is how I used to get the ladies back before I was married. I used to just bust out my Ninja Turtles cup and a couple of video games, and that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Observer dude, Jeremy, do you know what's scary? If Darth Vader was put in a room full of SJWs, he'd probably be the voice of reason. You are 100% right. That is scary. It's scary that these crazy people are who they're pandering to. Because again, let's just be full disclosure. SJWs are such a small minority. They are such a small minority. They're not the problem. I don't care about them in isolation. The problem is Hollywood and the mainstream feels this need to pander to them. That's the problem. They just continue to pander to this minority group of loudmouths that have no real passion for what they're trying to complain about. That's what bothers me. 1,000 people are watching now. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone. If you are just joining this chat, I will give you the update on Donald Glover's latest comments. There's my boy Star Wars Junk. You always see me and him arguing on Twitter. He is my buddy. And he says, is that an NES Mini? Give me $2 for a Rostico figure. It's an NES Mini, and I have an SNES Mini behind me. All right, so let me read everyone that's just tuned in. I'm going to give you Donald Glover's comments that he just released to SiriusXM Entertainment Weekly. He says, how can you not be pansexual in space? Glover shared with SiriusXM's Entertainment Weekly Radio. There are so many things to have sex with. I didn't think it was that weird. Yeah, he's coming on to everybody. I mean, yeah, whatever. It just didn't seem that weird to me, because I feel like if you're in space, it's kind of like the door is open. Again, repeating it one more time, this is where Star Wars is at. The Force is not what's important. The dark side's not important. The light side's not important. The Jedi, the Sith, none of that is important. It's all about who can people have sex with in space now. This is the point where the discussion has fallen to. This is what happens when you pander to SJW politics right here. Unbelievable. Let me see if I can catch a comment here. How is Star Wars appropriate for children now? That's Zaki94. That's the question. Like I said, and I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but we continue to get more viewers and more viewers, so I want to keep everyone updated on kind of what we're talking about here, based on the thumbnail I used and the title. But right now, Star Wars fans, people that are watching this video, we are not the masses. We are a significant amount of people, and I believe the majority of Star Wars fans are unhappy. But there's this massive number out there, and that's the general audience. The general audience is who is going to make or break Solo at the box office. And they don't pay attention to all of this stuff. They don't care about Kathleen Kennedy and her agenda. They don't care about what this person said or how this affected Luke's storyline, or if Rey's and Mary Sue. They don't care about those things. What they care about, though, is if they start hearing people like Donald Glover talk about having sex with aliens in space, and that becoming such a narrative of discussion, which it has been for the last week since John Kasdan made his idiotic statements. That's the thing that will turn the general audience off. So that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. It's almost like John Kasdan gave us a gift with this stupid comment, and now Donald Glover is doubling down on it, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. I don't know the answer, but it's fascinating to watch. It's fascinating. Brian Dean, thank you so much for the super chat. What's next? Porno, a Star Wars story from Sebastian Alvarez. Alvarez, I'm sorry. Yes, sadly, that's where we're heading. I'm going to see Solo with my wife's boyfriend. That's Brighton Cherrier. That's great. Hashtag Droid Rights. That's from Bass Playing Hobo. 1,000 people watching. That's Gannon. Gannon himself confirmed that 1,000 people are watching, and that's amazing. All right. I'm not going... Let's see. This is from Melanie Klein-Dinst. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. She said, and this, I'm down with what Melanie says. I'm not going to see Solo either, partly because I'll be graduating that Thursday and because I'll be playing Mario Kart. You are awesome right there. Mario Kart will never let you down. Mario Kart, that's what I'm talking about. So many comments. Droid Lives Matter. Hashtag Droid Lives Matter. Roger, Roger. Thumbs up. Did I get a thumbs up? You gave me a thumbs up, Midnight and Luna. I appreciate that. I really do. Am I pansexual if I fall in love with Twi'leks? See, why does that need to be? And I'm not abused. I know that's a sarcastic way of saying it, but does that mean that Kanan was pansexual, or if anybody ever dated Ahsoka? No, she's female. They're female. That's all it needs to be distinguished. Female versus male. You don't need to bring all of this other stuff into it. All of these things just muddies the waters and muddies the discussion. It's very, very frustrating. Smash the like button, says Random Gamer User 42. Thank you for encouraging everyone to smash the like button. Is Chewbacca transgender? That will be the next question answered in our next spin-off movie, because that's what everybody wants to know, right? Almost 400 thumbs up. That's awesome, Lauren. Thank you for letting me know. No, Jessica, I know it technically means that, but do we really have to break down sexual technicalities in a galaxy far, far away? A film franchise that's generally been geared to a younger audience. I just don't understand why we have to break it down to technical aspects. It was never a problem with Kanan and Hera. Nobody was prancing around all of this. You know why? Because Kathleen Kennedy has nothing to do with the TV shows. She doesn't even... I don't even know if Kathleen Kennedy knows that there was a Rebels show. She probably has no idea what Rebels is. But if she found out about Kanan and Hera, she probably would have taken that as an opportunity to play identity politics into it. Hey, Jeremy, I was wondering if this movie fails, could Kathleen Kennedy get fired? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I think that's Giancarlo Sponzilla. And no, I don't think she can be fired if this movie fails. I do think that this would be the beginning of the end if this movie fails. You have to look at everything. So the entire situation with The Last Jedi, yes, it made money. It made $1.3 billion. World Class Bullshitters did a great job of breaking down the financials, and it didn't make as much money as a lot of people seem to think it made. Clearly, it still was profitable. There's no denying that. But if this movie, with all of the production problems that were surrounding this movie, all of the fan resentment, all of the Last Jedi controversy, then you go back to the Colin Trevorrow controversy, go all the way back to the Josh Trank stuff. So many people have been removed from projects. There's no plan for the sequel trilogy. So if this movie fails, this will be the first time you've actually seen a dent in Kathleen Kennedy's armor, and the trend is not looking good for her after the fact. So I don't think she gets fired immediately if this movie fails. I don't. But I think that this puts her in a very, very vulnerable situation, to say the least. So, because if you notice, she's disappeared from marketing. She won't do interviews now. Every Star Wars movie we've gotten up to this point, she's been doing interviews. She's been out front. She's been yapping her gums. She's been all over the place. She's disappeared now. She won't do interviews anymore. Why? I don't know. Maybe Bob Iger's putting a leash on her. We'll see. Tyler Bliss, you should check out The Greatest Teacher Failure. Is by HFP. It shows what The Last Jedi could have been if it was made by someone that loves Star Wars. Tyler, is that a YouTube channel? If so, I will definitely check that out. And again, for those of you that are joining us, I do have Ivan Ortega's final cut of The Last Jedi for his edit. And I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to. Now, again, when I say final cut, it's the final rough cut, so it's not completely finalized yet. But I'm excited. I can't wait to watch it. And we all know Ivan's amazing. Brian Dean, thank you again for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that. Mike Soilo, great name. It's almost if they think it's sexy to be a pansexual. Speaking of which, TMT Cup is sexy. Uh-oh, I might be pansexual. Exactly. Why do we have to break it down to these depths? It's such nonsense. So, Klein Dropper. Have you seen what WB did to Starfire for the TV show? I have not. I typically, and I'm not familiar with Starfire, but but I typically don't watch a lot of TV week to week. I wait to binge it. So there's so many comments. I'm just trying to run past these so fast. So I apologize if I'm just saying stuff, but I'm trying to keep up. I genuinely want to try to read all of your comments. Vincent Scott says, Jeremy, I'm so jealous. I don't know why you're jealous, but I appreciate you watching. Let's all be pansexual. The Force is female. Star Wars Junk said the Force is female. Sure it is, buddy. Go right ahead. If you're okay with that statement, as long as you're okay if someone says the Force is male. And that's the problem, is the double standard in place. But in reality, there is no Force. There's no gender. It's genderless, and you can buy our shirts. The Force is gender neutral. Joe Cook says, hi. What's up, Stephanie B? I finally see you in here. I'm sure you've been in here for a while, Stephanie. This is the first time I saw you in the comments, and I'm sure that's not the first comment you've made, though. Sebastian Smith, I went ahead and approved your comment. Hansexual. Nordicus 0114. I may go see this film for myself just to see how bad it is. Hey, man, you got my support if you go see it. I've said that a lot. The Force is gender neutral. Good morning from Australia. Thank you so much for watching from Australia. It's amazing. Stephanie, I see you again. No worries. Hi there. I identify as Star Wars sexual. Good God. This is what our chat's done. This is what you've done to our chat, Star Wars. We can't talk about theories of the movie. We can't sit there and say, hey, I wonder what's going to happen with this and this. I wonder what's going to happen with this storyline and that storyline. I wonder how they're going to portray this character. I wonder how it's going to affect the Empire. Or we're not talking about that. We're talking about all this stupid stuff that has no place in Star Wars. This is the point we've reached. So I do this quite often in the chat, but I want an honest answer, okay? Don't BS me. How many of you are actually going to see Solo this weekend? I want an honest answer. And how many of you are paying to go see it? That's the better question. How many of you are paying to go see Solo this weekend? I just want a yes or a no. A lot of no's. All right, there's Laura. Laura Story says me, okay. Take Notes says effing never. All right, so that Norwegian guy says I am. A lot of no's, everybody's knows. Mike Soilo says yes. I've tried to say your name before. We're buddies on Twitter. Cruel Byreb, Geeks and Gamers live stream is a sexy place to hang out. Thank you so much for that. So there's not very many people that are saying they're going to see this movie. But again, if you do, you have my support, because I'm a firm believer in you can do whatever you want with your money. And I can do whatever I want with my money. Angry Liquid says yes. And that's the problem with our culture now, is it seems like too much of the political atmosphere has bled over into Star Wars, and it's bleeding over into everything. It's bled over into the NFL, football. It's bleeding over to every walk of life now. And it just, it kind of sucks, because there's this attitude of, like, if you don't say what we want you to say, we dismiss you, we brand you as a racist, we brand you as a sexist, we brand you as a homophobe. Like today some guy was saying, I said tag any racist or homophobics that you know, and we'll call them out. And then somebody tagged me and said, well, that D-Day Cobra guy is one. So then I had to respond to him and destroy him with the facts and the truth of the fact that I have lesbian people on my team, I have black people, I have religious people, non-religious people, I have Christians, I have atheists, I have people from all background, people that hate The Last Jedi, people that love The Last Jedi, people that are in the middle on The Last Jedi. And as soon as I bring facts to his doorstep, what happens? He disappears. He disappears, so he's okay throwing that bomb, much like John Campea did. He's okay throwing that bomb, but as soon as you get punched back, runs like a little girl. No offense to the girls out there. NYC says Obi-Wan killed a lot of droids during that time, or during the Clone Wars. No droids have rights, thus the Jedi way philosophy does not make sense anymore. Great channel, Jay. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, and I'm sure, oh, you know what? And there's some, I'm going to Twitter real quick, because there was a tweet that I retweeted, and I wanted to give this guy a shout out. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. I don't know if I can read this dude's name. It's at Cameron Pasha. Cameron Pasha, okay? And he tweeted and he says, I have an MBA from Dartmouth and got honors in corporate communications. I have never seen anything like this in Hollywood or anywhere else. A company ignoring customer complaints and using arrogance as a PR strategy. I believe Lucasfilm has devolved into a cult and will end like one. Boom. Boom. That is great right there. So if you guys want to read that, that is amazing right there. That's excellent stuff. So I suggest going ahead and giving Cameron a follow. I think I'm saying his name properly. I love it when people just destroy this nonsense with facts. Facts, data, and the truth. Let's see. Star Wars Junk just sent me a private message. So Campea, I didn't get to read the whole thing, Star Wars Junk, but you said Campea is bringing back his Star Wars show. Of course he is. Of course he is. He just sit there and pulled that nonsense just to get a little attention. He was never going to stop with his Star Wars show. He was never going to do that. He just took a few days to just play the victim. He called me a liar on Twitter, and now he's brought his Star Wars show back, what, 3 days after saying he was stopping it? It's just ridiculous, man. Rhino4563, hashtag boycott soy low, hashtag no soy wars, hashtag I'm no soy boy. That's nice. Alright, I'm looking. So, okay, MAF blogger Danny, hey Gingy, I appreciate that you have a mix of races, sexualities, and religion on your team, but if everyone on your team was a white male and straight, it shouldn't allow people to assume anything. 100% agree. I agree completely. And, you know, I don't have a diverse team because I was trying to make a diverse team. I just simply, you know, I choose the people that I can trust. like I've told you many times, Geeks and Gamers is not some big company where we're making millions of dollars or anything like that. It's a very grassroots situation. We are all volunteers. All of the money that we make, we try to redistribute it back into the company. We do donate to charity and things like that. But I'm not living the high life here. I'm trying to build us to that point. But the people that I have on my team are on my team not because of their race, not because of their religion, not because of their sexual orientation. It's because I trust them. It's because I trust them. Lauren should still be in this chat. I've known Lauren for several years. She's on my team. Why is she on my team? Not because she's a female. Because she's a gamer. She knows her stuff, and I can trust her. That's why she's on this team. That's why everybody's on my team. All right, lots of chats. I got to try to get to all of these. Mike Soilo. Oh, my God, this chat keeps jumping around. Hung Flo Poo. What kind of name is that? Just here to drop you a deuce, bro. Thank you so much. And amazing name. I don't know what it means, but that's an amazing name. Star Wars Junk, thank you for the $2 super chat. Guys, go ahead and subscribe over to Star Wars Junk. Like I said, you might guys see me and him fighting on Twitter all the time. We're friends. We fight like, you know, and we've never really met. We've just met each other through YouTube, but we just fight because it's fun. So, Thundercats Kitten, need writers for Sports Wars this football season? Yes, I do. But I got a lot going on with Sports Wars, but if you want to shoot me an email, jeremy@geeksandgamers.com, and look, I'm so far behind on my emails. I get overwhelmed with emails, not complaining. Continue to send them my way. The other day I had to get Caroline, our Patreon manager, go through my personal, or my Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers emails and just split it all up for me to make it easier for me. So she is a godsend when she did that for me, so thank you so much to Caroline. So I will get to that very soon. So many comments. Incredibles 2, am I seeing it? Yes, Tom McKnight, I am seeing The Incredibles 2. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. There's E-Girl Lauren. Plus, Jeremy is the last person to ask somebody to join or agree with him because he wants to look good. Most of us disagree with him anyway. That's right, Lauren, point blank. I've known her for years. She's been on the team for years. And she, you know, she and I disagree a lot. And she puts me in my place all the time, just like anybody else on my team. And I'll go back at her. We're not a bunch of, you know, sissies around here. We can take it. We can deal with it. We don't get our feelings hurt. All right, Infall 1403. Whether or not Solo is a success is the true acid test of the fan support will come with Episode 9 box office. I agree with that. Bottom line, Solo is going to be a huge moment. It is going to be a huge moment. But it's not going to be as big as Episode 9 because the episodic films, the saga films, that is where it all matters. That is where it all matters. So, almost like our Geeks and Gamers channel here. If we do a review for, which we will have a review for Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition coming up very soon, and that'll probably get maybe 1,000, 2,000 views based on, you know, how our other video game reviews have done, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We're not judged on our video game reviews or our movie reviews. We're judged on our Star Wars content, because that's why most of you have come to the channel. So if our Star Wars stuff stops getting any views whatsoever, then we probably have a problem. But the same with Episode 9. If Episode 9 has problems and can't cross $1 billion, you know it is absolutely broken. I mean, broken beyond repair at that point. They would need to blow everything up, fire everybody involved with Lucasfilm Creative, and just start over. So that's going to be the true test. But Solo is massively important. Don't think it's not. Brad Evans, I like your game reviews. They're very well done. They are very well done. They are done by Chris Clow. Chris Clow is one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. He writes for our site. He does the reviews for the Get Video Game side of things for us. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen our video game reviews, go back and look at our Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze review. Go back and look at our Super Mario Odyssey review. Go look at our God of War review. Chris Clow is incredible. And Josiah and Jasmine both do a great job editing his videos. The chat is crazy, says Computer Guy. Yes, it is. Imagine trying to keep up with it. Let's see. Jennifer Hewitt says, we already know Star Wars is broken. Yes, we do. Nick White says, Jeremy, have you ever thought about doing a Geeks and Gamers magazine? I'd buy that good shit in a heartbeat. There's a lot of overhead involved with that, but as a person that grew up in the 80s, 90s, I was a big fan of GamePro, Electronic Gaming Monthly, and Nintendo Power. So magazines are kind of like, I love magazines. I still to this day I still find some of my old Electronic Gaming Monthly magazines and still read them. Love magazines. Who Flung Poo is who? Okay, it's Who Flung Poo. I got you now. I got it. That second time I read it, I saw it before you had to explain it, but thank you. Hashtag being helpful. Thank you so much. Let's see. Raycron Duel. How's everybody? Or where is everybody going? I don't know. Everybody left, so I guess I pissed them off. So, almost 500 likes. All right. How long have we been on here? Been on here an hour and 10 minutes. We're gonna go for another 20 minutes. So I'm gonna be on here another 20 minutes. You guys mentioned a timer. I don't know how to put a timer on here. So, is there a way to put a timer on here? I know nothing about this. So, in the future, I will look. Tyrell says, thanks for speaking the truth on this channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Christian says he just joined. So, let me update you, Christian, on some of the things that we've been talking about. The latest is the Donald Glover stuff. I apologize for everybody who's heard me say this 5 times, but I'm trying to update our new audience. So, the latest Donald Glover doubling down on Disney's BS. And he was quoted as saying, "How can you not be a pansexual in space?" Glover shared with the SiriusXM's Entertainment Weekly show. "There are so many things to have sex with. I didn't think it was that weird." Yeah, he's coming on to everybody. I mean, yeah, whatever. It's just, it didn't seem that weird to me because, like, if you're in space, it's kind of like the door is open. So, again, that's the point we have reached in the Star Wars universe. And it's just, Lando Calrissian says, "I don't trust this news." That's fantastic. Count Zaroff, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Jeremy wants to do L3. I mean, I'm not saying anything, but you know, we'll see. I haven't seen L3 in the movie, so maybe I do. Do I think Paul Bettany's character in Solo is General Huck's father? That's from Not Original. That's a good question. He actually does look a lot like is it Domhnall Gleeson? Is that his name? He does look a lot like him. I don't think so though. From a timeline standpoint, that wouldn't work. No, because with Paul Bettany's like in his what 40s already. Nah, I don't think. I don't know. I would not want that to happen, regardless if it's possible. I just feel like that would be too on the nose and too shoehorn. But I don't think there's any way that's his father. I really don't. Star Stories Organa says no, he's not. His father is in the Aftermath series. Our buddy Chuck Wendig, the guy who blocked me on Twitter and got so mad at me, even though I've never had an interaction with him on Twitter. Good old Chuck. That dude is a lunatic. Completely off his rocker. Jeremy, who do you think is more powerful, Rey or Starkiller? Well, I mean, Rey clearly is, because nobody's more powerful than Rey. Rey could defeat Thanos at this point. So, alright, I gotta catch back up, because I think I missed a super chat, so let me see here. I'm trying to, and I want to, hey, now, update me on the Rotten Tomatoes score, too. If anybody can. Alright, so there was another one too. Man, the comments, chat is crazy, but I'm loving it. I'm digging it. Alright, let me get back in here. Alright, will we get a Wilro Hood backstory? Wilro Hood, really? J-Hawk, that's $2. Is he even canon? He's canon, right? Wilro. That's the dude, right? The black dude? That's funny. Alright. I know I saw another one. Okay, Count Zaroff. OT, but in a normal and sane world without Kathleen Kennedy. I'd love for a Thrawn movie written and directed by Nolan. See, I can tell you watch me a lot, because there are so many times where people have asked me if I wanted to see this movie or that movie, and I'm always like, well, as long as Kathleen Kennedy's not involved, yes. So you've been watching me a lot. So, Who you got tonight, Cleveland or Boston? That's from my boy Corey Rowe. Corey, I have Cleveland. I just think LeBron's going to come out there and be LeBron. But Boston's clearly the better team. There's no doubt about it, but I've got LeBron. So, Anthony, let's see, Anthony Dukes, $1 super chat. It says that there's a message. Wait, okay, that was somebody else being held. So thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, bud. In fall, it's still at 41%. It's Dom Nall, so Doug Nall. Is it Doug Dunall? Is it Dunall? Still at 41%. Gotcha. This is from Joshua Coke. Jeremy, oh shit. Jeremy, do you think Kathleen Cray is purposely trying to turn off the hardcore Star Wars fans so they're only left with the casual fans who tend to be not so critical about continuity and the lore? Great question, and it's very possible. I do think that there's just a certain arrogance right now, so I'm going to talk about another company I love. We're going to talk about Nintendo, okay? I've always defended Nintendo, always. Brian, thank you for the super chat. Nintendo, a few years ago, they came out with the Nintendo Wii. I know you're all familiar with the Nintendo Wii. The Nintendo Wii took the world by storm. It was the biggest thing ever, okay? Everybody was playing it, and it was short-lived with the hardcore gaming community, but it hit the general audiences. The masses ate it up. It was in retirement homes. It was everywhere. Then they followed up with the Wii U. Now, I loved the Wii U personally. The Wii U was my favorite system on the market. I loved that system. But from a marketing standpoint, Nintendo was so arrogant and lost in their Wii success and thinking that people were just going to eat the Wii, anything up with the Wii name on it. They didn't understand that they needed to do a better job of marketing, and the Wii U name was a disaster. And the Wii U system overall, from a sales standpoint, was terrible. Now, again, I loved it. I have one sitting right behind me. I loved this system. I think a lot of that is going on with what Star Wars is doing right now, where there's so much arrogance involved that they don't understand their fan base right now. And they really need a rude awakening. Nintendo had their rude awakening. The Wii U was a rude awakening for them because the sales figures were awful. And at no point did you think Nintendo would fail that bad. So if Nintendo can fail from a sales standpoint with their hardcore base, when you can fail to reach the general audience like that, it can happen with Star Wars. So I think that that's what's going on. It's just sheer arrogance right now. They know they have the #1 IP in the history of the movie business, and they're so caught up in their agenda-driven ways that they're willing to shove anything they can into it. And for that reason, it's going to be a rude awakening for them at some point. But it will happen at some point, whether that's Solo or Episode 9. I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is that calculated to want to just... I think she's arrogant and she's in her own bubble. And I think she feels she can do whatever she wants. And she thinks that it's going to be successful regardless. That's my opinion on it. Let's see. Listen to your fan base, not your pan base. A rude awakening of a dog peeing on her face. Will Ryan's trilogy happen? That's a good question. I still don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. How they can't understand how divisive this man's name is within the Star Wars universe. It's crazy to me. I don't understand it. So I see a lot of people talking about the Wii U. Yeah, the Wii U, their Star Wars junk. I love the Wii U. It was so good. But no, I don't think Rian Johnson's trilogy will happen. I really don't. I just can't see how it happens at this point. It doesn't matter how you feel about the movie. It's the divisive nature in which Rian Johnson's name is more divisive than Zack Snyder's was with the DCEU. And that's saying a lot because Zack Snyder was incredibly divisive. All right, I don't know how to say this name. Agalasis, I think that's how you say that. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think JJ could fix the saga with 9? We both love The Force Awakens, and he has said that he has other plans than Rian Johnson for some stuff. So, again, you guys know, you kill me every time. I like J.J. Abrams. I like him. I've always liked J.J. He's one of my favorite directors. And I love Super 8. I love The Force Awakens. I love Lost. I love his Mission Impossible movies. I love his Star Trek movies. J.J. Abrams is a very capable director. Originality is not his strong suit. We've seen that in the past. But right now, as it stands, J.J. Abrams comes off as a beta, and Kathleen Kennedy is basically telling him what to do. He's going to follow whatever orders she lays out. I don't trust J.J. Abrams to do anything other than listen to what boss lady Kathleen tells him to do. I don't trust him to fix episode 9. I absolutely don't. J.J. Abrams had a chance to be a man, and when he saw what Rian Johnson was doing, he should have said, like, bro, what are you doing? You're not following anything I laid out. You're not following anything. But instead, he just sat down on his hands and cowered like a little baby. So no, I don't have faith that he can fix episode 9. As in isolation, if he if he could do whatever he wanted, sure. But it's not in the cards. I don't see it. I have no faith in JJ right now. Angry Liquid, I want to see Solo, but at the same time, I don't. I'm torn by all the BS coming from the directors, writers, and Disney. I wish they would do it how Marvel is doing. I agree with you 100%. Somebody was talking about JJ donated to Hillary's campaign. I mean, look, I have no faith in anybody in Hollywood and their political leanings. So I told you guys I'm a Green Day fan, and I don't agree with anything they say politically. I just like their music, and that's how I separate it. I mean, so I know everybody in Hollywood is way out there in far left field. And again, I don't really care where you stand politically. It doesn't matter to me. I don't judge people on their politics unless it's way out there. And yeah, even Green Day's far out there. Hashtag Captain Awesome 89 says hashtag make Star Wars great again. You are 100% right. Michael D. Max says Deadpool 2 is going to beat Solo this weekend. That's a bold statement, my friend. That's a bold statement. Geeks and Gamers, look up Kingdom Come Deliverance. Okay, I will. When I come around, Lando as Tote Daddy. He said I thought I said green. He said I thought I said Green Bay for a moment. What's up, Ivan? You are the son of Rage and Love. Nice little Green Day nugget there. Ivan, I've been telling everybody I have your final rough cut, and I'm going to be watching it. And I won't be giving any information out about it until Ivan gives me the okay, but I can't wait to watch it, so. All right, 9 minutes left, guys. 9 minutes left. I've got to go eat dinner. By the way, we just hit 38,000 subs. So thank you all for the support. Really appreciate that. You are all amazing. Really appreciate that. Count Zaroff, thank you for the 600 likes update. Thank you. That's awesome. LGBTQ Force Council. I could set that up. I could have a Geeks and Gamers LGBTQ Force Council. We have enough people on our team, but I'm not going to do that because people should not get any special treatment based on their race, their gender, or their sexual orientation. Lando had sex with my toaster. What am I having? My wife is cooking something. I'm not sure what she's cooking, though. It'll be good. I know that much. Why Cheesy Buns wants to know why is Campy as shilling Solo for Han Solo? You know, I don't really care if he likes Solo. I really don't. It's the hypocritical way he does everything. So again, you can like Solo. That's great. I don't really care if anybody likes Solo. I don't care if anybody likes The Last Jedi. But Campy has built a reputation of being the loudest prequel hater on the internet for the past 15 or 20 years. And now suddenly he wants to play the white knight of Star Wars fans and tell us all how we're supposed to act. The same guy that when Simon Pegg was literally quoted as saying that he has no respect for fans that like the prequels. That was what Simon Pegg said. Quote, I have no respect for people that like the prequels. Then when the prequel fans lashed out against Simon Pegg, Campia came on Movie Talk and said all those fans need to shut up. But, you know, now he's the internet white knight for Star Wars fandom. Not how it works, John. Hugo Allen Stevens, I think that's how I say that. Discovered you only yesterday. Today, thanks for Alex Becker. I intend to stick around. May the force be with you, Jeremy. Thank you so much, Hugo. I really mean that. I really appreciate that. That's very nice of you. If Solo bombs, could that cause Bob Iger to make Lucas change course for Episode 9? It's gonna be crazy, man. Because like I said, as someone that's really plugged into the theme parks, Episode 9, so much is riding on Episode 9 right now. With everything going on, they're building Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland. That is a massive financial undertaking that they're both taking right now. Plus, you have Star Wars Celebration in 2019 in Chicago. And everything's going to be built around Episode 9. And if enthusiasm is not there, if it continues to dwindle down, like we've seen it just dissipate so much in the past 5-6 months since The Last Jedi, man, I can't imagine how they're going to fix this. But yeah, it's a great question, Michael Hand. Iger is very, very... Iger's a smart dude, okay? A very smart dude, very smart businessman, very understanding of his legacy and where he wants to leave it. So Iger has got a tough job ahead of him right now, and I can't believe that he continues to let people within Star Wars just get on social media and just attack the fans. I can't believe it. It blows me away. The Flexington. Am I the only one that still wants Darth Jar Jar? More than likely. More than likely. Rotten Tomatoes down to 41%. Nice. Yeah, we got that update earlier. Where'd it go? Hey, Jeremy, why do you think Kathleen Kennedy went silent? The mouse had a little talk with her, I think, and that's from Can Kerbos. I think that's very possible. There's got to be a good explanation for this, because she went from being in the forefront of every single movie being released, and now suddenly she's just gone. She's nowhere to be found. And it tells me that with all of her arrogance and all of her lack of self-awareness, whether it's her or whether it's Bob Iger or Alan Horn, I think Alan Horn's the guy's name that's in the middle of them. Alan Horn is the president of Walt Disney Pictures. Somebody understands what's going on, because someone has told her, you need to stay out of the public eye because people hate your guts. And you're doing a disservice to the brand the more you talk. Somebody had to get a hold of her. But then you have people like John Kasdan going out and doubling down on these stupid comments. Then you have Donald Glover doing it again. So, again, who the hell's running this company? I don't know. It definitely does not operate like Marvel. It definitely does not. All right, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Do I watch Westworld? Yes, but I'm waiting for the Season 2 compile up so I can binge through Season 2. I liked Episode 1 of Season 2, but damn if that was just not confusing the hell out of me. I have not seen Darth Santa on YouTube. Why Disney doubles down on identity politics? I can't figure it out for myself. Do you watch Cobra Kai? That's from Andre Todorovic. I think that's how I said your name correctly. And I've watched Cobra Kai twice. Cobra Kai is one of my favorite things ever. It's one of my favorite things I've seen in a long time. Cobra Kai is phenomenal. If you haven't watched Cobra Kai, do it. Kenneth Crane, why do people actually think The Force Awakens was great? It was unoriginal and it destroyed everything about The Force. I absolutely hated it. I mean, I love The Force Awakens, and I've said this many times. I'm a big fan of The Force Awakens. I've said this more times than you probably guys want to hear. And regardless of how you feel about The Force Awakens, the bottom line, again, if we're going to reference the Rotten Tomatoes scores for The Last Jedi, if we're going to reference it for Solo, then we have to acknowledge it for The Force Awakens, and it's at an 88%. So the heavy majority of the fans enjoyed The Force Awakens. But The Last Jedi has completely destroyed The Force Awakens in my eyes. I won't watch it anymore. I have not watched it since The Last Jedi, and I probably will not watch it at all. This entire sequel trilogy has been destroyed for me. But I respect the fact that you don't like The Force Awakens. I do, but if I can separate everything else and just watch The Force Awakens in isolation, I definitely enjoyed it. All right. Let's see. Fromeg Man. Okay. Given to sanity, Crazy Kathleen, or Crazy Kennedy, it is your destiny. Jungle Junkie. Douchebags run that company. It's all propaganda. I agree. I agree. Paragilla saw Deadpool 2. In my opinion, it kicked SJW Hollywood in the nuts. There was a few moments that I thought were a little SJW, but I mean, like the part with the Neo-Sonic girl, teenage girl, like, why was it necessary to put so much emphasis on her lesbian relationship? Like, that was really the only point she existed in the movie. There was a lot of jokes that seemed like they were against SJWs, and they probably were, but it was hard to really differentiate if it was a shot or if it was supporting it. But I agree. Overall, not a lot of SJW stuff in there to make it less enjoyable. Skyhawk89, Star Wars to go back to the old ways. Can you give us a tweet? Let's see. Hang on, I'm trying to... Search Soylorn, and we want to make anime game series. Thanks, no politics. Okay, so you want me to search that? Alright, I'll search that out. And follow me on Twitter and send it to me if you want. At DDayCobra, DDAY. You know what I'm going to do? I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to regret this, okay? Probably going to regret this. I think I'm going to open my inbox up on Twitter because I think that's going to be easier for me to respond other than email, just because I'm so bad about my emails. I think I'm just going to open my inbox on my Twitter account and just let anybody just message me. I'm not going to promise I'm going to respond to everything, but at least I'll be able to see it. And if it's something you want me to see, if you don't want to tweet me, you can send it to me in my private message. I think I'm going to do that. Jesus Christ, I'm going to regret this, but I think I'm going to do that. Hugo Stevens said, I must say I love the Forces gender neutral t-shirt. That's been a dream t-shirt design for me. Thank you so much. I'll drop a link in, do I have a link right now? I don't have a link on me right now. So, hush, Lauren. I know I can't read my emails. That's why I had to get Caroline to do it. I'm terrible about emails. Terrible. But I live on Twitter at this point. So, all right. Well, this is going to wrap it up. Fire away. Tell me where you're watching. I just want to thank you. For the Lauren, I need a link for the Forces Gender Neutral shirt. So, it's on Custom Ink. I don't know if you can find it. But, tell me where you're watching. I'm going to wrap this up. Gaston, Alabama. That's awesome. I appreciate all of you so much for joining the chat. It means so much to me. We had over 1,000 viewers tonight, and we held on to that for a little while. That was great. I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. You're all the best. You're all amazing. You make the day worth waking up for. I look forward to this live stream every night. I love all of the conversations. And my gosh, you guys are just killing it right now. France, New Jersey, Cordoba, Panama City, South America, South Carolina, France, England, Jersey, Anaheim, Okaloosa. Okaloosa's not far from me. Atlanta, Long Beach, DC, Argentina, Connecticut, Texas, Tatooine, Ohio, Maryland, Finland, Greece, Seattle. You're all the best. Lauren just sent me this link, I think. Hang on. Damn it, if I could get out of here. Oh, you're the best, Lauren. Thank you. If I can save it. It won't let me save it. There we go. Hang on, I'm going to drop this link, guys. Give me just a second. If I can copy. Alright, copy to the clipboard. Here we go. And there's the link right there if you're interested in the shirt. Thank you so much to Lauren for that. You guys have a great night. I'm fixing to go eat something really good. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, Ted Zimmerman, for saying keep the good fight. The Banana Republic. I don't even want to get off here. I just want to keep talking to you guys. Wakanda, Lucas Studios, Lando Sex Dungeon, Pizza. Oh my gosh, you're the best. All right, guys. Talk to you later.